This story is about a former military officer who joins a school as a teacher. But the students there are so unruly and disobedient that controlling them is truly challenging. How he brings these students onto the path of discipline is what we'll see in today's story. Henry, once a decorated soldier, has hung up his uniform for good. After years of serving his country, he now dreams of shaping young minds. With this fire in his heart, he returns to his old high school, a place filled with memories, hoping to start his teaching career. But the school principal isn't convinced. "Henry," he says firmly, "you've got no teaching experience. This job isn't for you." Undeterred, Henry pulls out a trump card, a letter signed by high-ranking authorities. The principal's eyes widen as he scans the document, and just like that, Henry's hired on the spot. But there's a catch. The principal assigns Henry to the school's most infamous class, a group so wild, no teacher has managed to tame them. This is Section D, a classroom where students rule and teachers tremble. These kids don't just ignore their instructors. They talk back, mock, and create chaos at every turn. Henry's first real test begins now. The next morning, Henry strides into the classroom, ready to take charge. But the students? They barely notice him. It's as if he's invisible. The room is a circus. Some kids are sprawled across desks, snoring. One boy strums a guitar, trying to catch a girl's eye. And in the corner, a group of students has lit a portable stove, cooking instant noodles right there in class. This isn't a school. It's a campsite gone wrong. Henry stands there, his authority crumbling before it even begins. Determined to make his mark, Henry tries to connect. "Hey, noodles take 10 minutes to cook, not 2. The students pause, glancing his way. Seizing the moment, Henry steps to the board, scribbling his name and phone number. He introduces himself with confidence, hoping to win them over. But the students aren't impressed. They burst into laughter, poking fun at his messy handwriting. One bold kid even dials Henry's number right then and there, whispering, "Get out while you can." Henry chuckles, brushing it off as a joke, but the students slip back into their own world, ignoring him once more. Frustration bubbles up. Henry's not one to give up, though. In a flash of inspiration, or maybe desperation, he grabs a piece of chalk and hurls it at the classroom's fire sprinkler. Water sprays everywhere, drenching the students. Shocked and soaked, they finally turn their eyes to Henry, wide awake now. Seizing the moment, he steps forward, reintroduces himself, and welcomes them to his class with a grin. For the first time, he has their attention. Class ends, but the drama doesn't. A group of 5 backbenchers, the lowest performers in the class, sneak off to the sports room to smoke cigarettes. Their leader, Jack, is a scrappy kid with big dreams. He's got a crush on a girl from a senior class, a fact his friends discover and tease him about mercilessly. Just then, a rival group storms in. The school's rich, spoiled basketball players. These two crews are like oil and water, always at odds. The basketball players taunt Jack, sneering at his worn-out clothes and humble background. "I know who you are, poor boy," one of them jeers. Stung by the insults, Jack plots revenge. Later, as the basketball team practices, Jack and his friends watch from the sidelines. In a sneaky move, Jack knocks over a water bottle onto the court. The basketball team's leader slips and crashes to the ground, humiliated. Jack and his crew erupt in laughter, savoring their small victory. But their English teacher catches them in the act and hands out a punishment for their mischief. Not ones to take discipline lying down, Jack and his friends hatch a plan. They pull a prank, spilling water all over their teacher's desk. While she's busy cleaning up the mess, they make a quick escape, laughing as they vanish down the hall. Meanwhile, the school principal is grappling with bigger problems. The school's reputation is in tatters, and the education board is threatening to slash 20% of their annual funding. To make matters worse, board officials are visiting to inspect how the school operates and whether the funds are being used wisely. Henry prepares to face his unruly students again. The battle for control is far from over. As Henry opens the door to enter the classroom, the students have set a trap for him. A bucket of water is balanced above the door, ready to drench him. But Henry's eyes are sharp. He quickly knocks the bucket away, and the students stare in shock. Henry starts the class. His gaze falls on Jack, who has a mischievous grin. Henry asks Jack for his pack of cigarettes. Surprised, Jack hands it over, wondering what this teacher is up to. Henry pulls out a cigarette and asks a student, "Name 3 ingredients in a cigarette that, if removed, would make smoking more enjoyable." The student gives a correct answer and adds a witty suggestion. Impressed, Henry allows the student to leave class early. Seeing this reward, the other students get excited, banging on their desks, eager to leave too. Henry hands each of them a cigarette and asks, "What happens to the body when you smoke?" He knows lecturing about harm won't work with these kids. So, he describes how cigarette smoke leaves tar in the lungs. For the first time, the entire class listens attentively. showing interest in learning. When the bell rings, Henry collects the cigarettes back. Jack and his friends reluctantly return them, but trouble spills beyond the classroom. In the cafeteria, the basketball team's captain shoves Jack's friend Bruce to the ground. In an instant, a fight breaks out between Jack's group and the basketball players. They start throwing chairs and tables. The school authorities pin the blame on Jack and his 5 friends, suspending them temporarily. The rich basketball players, as usual, escape punishment. Leaving the principal's office, Henry sees Jack still arguing with the basketball team. He steps in quickly, stopping them and telling Jack to calm down. But Jack explodes in anger. This school is biased. It never punishes the rich kids. There's truth in his words. To understand his students better, Henry sits down to read their files after school. First, there's Jufa, a Pakistani immigrant's son. As a Muslim, he faces discrimination, and even neighbors falsely accused him of theft. Yet, Jufa dreams big. He wants to become a famous musician. Next is Denon, whose father doesn't love her because he wanted a son. Denon's younger brother is treated like royalty while she's ignored. To win her father's love, Denon plays car games like a boy, lives like a boy, and even cut her hair short, but nothing works. Denon believes no matter what she does, her father will always hate her. Then there's Bruce and Chris, 2 brothers whose mother ran off with another man when they were young. Their father is an alcoholic, and Bruce escapes reality through video games. Chris takes care of his father and brother, working at a small grocery store. Jack's file, however, is empty, which puzzles Henry. Meanwhile, Jack works as a waiter at a hotel. One day, he serves Zia Nin, an MMA betting organizer, and his business partner. Seeing Zia Nin's flashy lighter, Jack steals it but gets caught. Zia Nin's men beat him up, but upon seeing his ID and realizing he's a student, they give him some money and offer him a food delivery job. Henry visits Jufa's home. There, Jufa and his father are fleeing from a stolen ticket, chased by a mob. Henry quickly intervenes, supporting Jufa's father and calming the crowd. Later, he takes Jufa to a bridge where a band is performing. To boost Jufa's confidence, Henry joins the band and sings. Inspired, Jufa joins in too. Performing in front of a crowd for the first time, Jufa is overjoyed. At Bruce and Chris's house, their father demands they buy alcohol late at night. When they refuse, he angrily kicks them out. The next day, Henry talks to their father, urging him to quit drinking and go to rehab. His words are tough but true. Meanwhile, Denon's father brings her makeup, saying, "Live like a girl. You don't need to act like a boy." But this angers Denon. Her father never cared for her, always making her feel worthless. Fuming, Denon smears the makeup on her younger brother's face, grabs the car keys, and storms out. While driving, she nearly crashes into Henry. He stops her, saying, "Driving without a license is illegal. If you want to drive, come with me." Henry takes Denon to a go-kart racing track, where he's also invited her father. His plan? A race between father and daughter to bridge their gap. The race begins. But Denon and her father, obsessed with winning, show no care for each other. Their carts veer off the track. Suddenly, a truck hits Denon's cart. Luckily, she's unharmed, but her father, unaware she's safe, breaks down in tears. Seeing this, Denon's heart softens. She realizes her father truly loves her. She runs to him, and they embrace, rebuilding their bond. The next day, Jack and Bruce interview a recovering alcoholic for a school project. To their shock, it's their own father. The students ask, "Why did you start drinking?" He explains that he loved his wife deeply, but when she left during tough times, the pain drove him to alcohol. He forgot his responsibility to his sons, Bruce and Chris. Though he doesn't say it directly, he apologizes to them. Tears well up in the brothers' eyes. Meanwhile, Jack starts working with Zia Nin in the MMA betting world. Zia Nin asks him to spike a fighter's drink with drugs, promising a hefty sum since he's bet heavily on the fighter's loss. Jack hesitates but gives in under pressure. Before the fight, he spikes the drink but gets caught. The fighter's men beat him and lock him in a locker. Henry arrives asking, "Have you seen a student here?" Someone tells him to leave. Suddenly, Jack's cries of, "Help! Help!" echo from the locker. Realizing Jack's in danger, Henry fights off the men single-handedly. His military training makes him unstoppable. He even knocks out their best fighter, who had a match coming up. Later, at the hospital, Henry gets treated for his injuries. Jack wants to tell the police everything, but Zia Nin silences him. The incident hits the news. Henry defeated a pro MMA fighter to save a student. At school, Henry's a hero. The students respect him and listen to him. In a flashback, we see Henry's past. As a student, he was mischievous too. During a school event, he threw a water balloon at a boy playing the piano for his parents. Later, in a fight, he broke that boy's hand. That incident got Henry expelled, and he moved to America. Back in class, everyone's focused on studies except Bruce. He's struggling with drug addiction. Like Jack, who escaped family pressures through video games, Bruce turned to drugs to cope. But now, it's his prison. Unable to focus, he fails mock tests. Henry promises to help, but Bruce's condition worsens. In despair, he jumps from a balcony. At the hospital, Bruce slips into a coma. The media twists the story, blaming the school and Henry. The education board summons Henry and revokes his teaching license. He's forced to leave the school. As he departs, the students try to stop him. They don't want their favorite teacher to go. Their faces show despair. But the students don't give up. They resolve to ace the upcoming exams to prove to the education board that Henry is an exceptional teacher. From that day, they study with double the effort. On exam day, Jack, Chris, and the others receive a message from Henry's phone. He wants to meet them at school before the exam. The students arrive, but it's a trap. Zia Nin, seeking revenge on Henry, sent the message. He locks the students in the school to prevent them from taking the exam and Henry from returning. Henry arrives, learns of Zia Nin's scheme, and confronts him. His military training makes him unstoppable. He defeats Zia Nin's men and frees the students. The students rush to the exam hall, but Henry is still fighting Zia Nin. During the fight, Zia Nin reveals a secret. He's the boy whose hand Henry broke as a child. That injury ended his music career. He never played the piano or competed again. He blames Henry. Henry tries to explain, but Zia Nin attacks again. At one point, Henry could have stabbed Zia Nin but stops himself. He apologizes for his childhood mistake and walks away. The students reach the exam hall and take the test. Weeks later, the results are announced. Everyone passes with flying colors. Their success propels the school to a high rank. The education board grants the school an extra 20% in funding. The principal is overjoyed. Zia Nin starts playing the piano again. Bruce recovers quickly and vows to take the entrance exam next time. Henry returns to the school. He begins teaching a new batch of students. On the first day, he activates the fire sprinkler, dousing the students with water, just like before. This story ends here, but if you enjoyed it, don't forget to share it with your friends. I'm starting this small channel's journey with friends like you. So, subscribe to our channel, as many more stories await. You can also check out our other stories. We'll meet again in the next story. Stay well, stay healthy.
Okay, Michael, let's talk about this Henry the Hero flick. I mean, what was that? A military guy turned teacher, taming a zoo of a classroom with a sprinkler? I half expected him to pull out a grenade next.
Right? The sprinkler move was pure chaos, like, oh, you kids won't listen. Time to give you an indoor shower. I was dying. But honestly, it was so over the top it kinda worked. Got their attention, didn't it?
Sure, but let's be real. It's a total cliché. Ex-soldier with a heart of gold, fixing broken kids like he's fixing a tank. I swear, every scene screamed inspirational teacher movie. Like, did they pull this script from a 90s Hollywood bin?
Oh, 100%. It's Dangerous Minds meets Dead Poets Society with a splash of Rambo. But I gotta give props to Henry's hustle. That cigarette stunt, asking kids about tar in lungs instead of preaching, bold move. It's like he knew these kids would eat a lecture alive.
Yeah, that was clever. I liked how he didn't go full smoking kills PSA. He made them think. But then, bam, we're in a cafeteria brawl with chairs flying like it's WWE. I mean, come on, who lets a school fight escalate to that?
Right? And the basketball team getting a free pass because they're rich? That hit hard. It's like the movie wanted to say something real about class and bias but got distracted by, what? An MMA betting subplot? Who greenlit that?
Oh, don't get me started on Zia Nin, a shady MMA guy who's secretly the kid Henry bullied years ago. That twist felt like they threw darts at a plot board. And the piano thing at the end? What? He just picks up music again after running a betting ring. Give me a break.
Yeah, that was wild. But I kinda bought the redemption arc for some of the kids. Like Jufa, the musician kid. His scene on the bridge singing with Henry, that got me. It felt real, you know? Kids got dreams, faces discrimination, but still pushes forward.
True. Jufa's story had heart. And Deenin's arc with her dad at the go-kart track? I'll admit, I teared up when they hugged, but the execution was so dramatic. Truck crash, really. Felt like they were trying to cram every emotion into one scene.
Totally. The movie's juggling too many subplots. Jack's MMA mess, Bruce's drug spiral, Chris and the alcoholic dad. It's like they wanted to tackle every teen issue in 2 hours. Pick a lane, you know? But Henry fighting off goons to save Jack, that was straight-up action hero stuff. I was cheering.
Oh yeah, Henry going full John Wick in the MMA den was ridiculous but awesome. Dude's like, I'm a teacher, but also I can knock out a pro fighter. Unrealistic, but I ate it up. Still, the whole school's funding is at stake thing felt forced. Like, why's the principal so chill about his school being a circus?
Good point. The principal was basically a plot device, not a character. But I liked how the kids rallied for Henry at the end. That exam hustle to save his job, it showed they cared. Though Zia Nin's trap to lock them in the school was extra. Why not just bribe the board or something?
Exactly. Zia Nin's like, I'm a villain with a piano grudge. Let's lock kids in a school. So random. But the kids acing the exam and saving the school's funding? Classic feel-good ending. I just wish the movie didn't lean so hard into every trope. Sprinkler again at the end? Really?
Yeah, that was lazy. They could have ended with something fresh, not a callback to the sprinkler gag. But overall, it's a fun ride. Cheesy, predictable, but it's got heart. The kids' backstories, Jufa, Den and Bruce, those kept me invested. Henry's not just a teacher, he's like their second chance.
Fair. It's a mess, but a lovable mess. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Points for Hart and Henry's badass moments, but docked for the soap opera drama and Zia Nin's weird villain arc. You?
I'm at a 7. The action was fun. The kids were relatable and I liked Henry's unconventional style. Just wish they trimmed some subplots. Want to grab another coffee and argue about the next movie?
Deal. But if it's another sprinkler scene, I'm walking out.